Good morning, Gills fans. Welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV for another Monday review. So last week was the blip, unfortunately. We was all positive last week, weren't we? What did we both predict? 1-1 draws.
Yep.
Thought we could go out there and get something. Nah, we caved again.
Had one shot.
Just read the report. 1 day at a time is the headline. Monday's Medway Messenger. He surely can't be. There can't be many grains of sand left in this
I just don't
time
think
on his career as Gillingham manager, surely.
Games, I can't see it happening. Once the Tuesday game stops, then it'll happen.
It's game 10 is tomorrow, isn't it, in the league? We've got Scunthorpe, so
I'll do it. Our next 5, there's a good chance we're not going to get anything out of any of them. That's 14 games in.
Say we lose tomorrow, can't see us getting anything at Blackburn Saturday, so we'll be bottom of the league again.
Portsmouth, Peterborough and Wigan.
Is that the next 4?
Yeah, don't fancy any of them.
No, not even a little bit. Anyway, let's talk more about, well, I'd like to call it our effort on Saturday. I mean, again, we didn't go, but the numbers are down, aren't they? And I've just said, just before we started, this is how desperate we are for positivity in this car crash of a season. Gillingham fans at least had something to smile about on the way home from Rochdale, as the 25 who travelled to the game on the official supporter coach were treated to complimentary fish and chips. Yeah, I bet that's what they're hoping for at the beginning of the season. When you're spending hundreds of pounds travelling around the country to watch us get turned over every week. Oh, at least you got fish and chips once. Yeah, well done, that'll cover everything, wouldn't it? But Gillingham boss Adi Pennock isn't looking too far ahead. A 3-0 loss at Rochdale heaped pressure on the Gills boss. And with just one win from their opening 9 games of the League One season, the Gills are in deep trouble. It says that they dropped back into the relegation zone, we know that. Mr. Scally due back from Sri Lanka this morning. You just said you don't think anything will be done before tomorrow.
No.
I
think it'll happen after Saturday, because then we've got a week between games.
I just can't. I can't see it going on that long. I don't want it to go on that long. I mean, it just can't. He has to go. I'm fed up with saying the same thing, and we keep repeating ourselves. We don't want to be miserable every week, but
we have had a nice change last week.
This is appalling. Again. Well, you've got a list. You've got. Boz has got a rant prepared.
I've done some prep work.
I'm gonna let Boz go off on one a little bit, because I'm sure you lot are fed up of listening to me go off.
I've added notes while I've been at work through the night. That's how stress. Alright, so obviously Saturday, no Wagstaff.
Injured again,
so
waste of time.
Who's been replacing Wagstaff and playing well?
Josh Parker.
Where's Parker?
Stuck on the bench.
Alright, that's my first point.
So who do we bring in?
Bingham, wasn't it?
Just to go off on a tangent that we just looked at. So Billy Bingham, our most natural holding midfielder available apparently, because Aaron Morris is injury prone. We just looked before we come on here. We kept a clean sheet at Doncaster with him in the side. He's played 3 times since. We've conceded 8 goals. So if that's your defensive midfielder and he's your best option, then you can see why we're in so much trouble. So.
But again, you go away and you set up negatively. You know? You've got him and Byrne in the same side.
We should have negatively every week,
No,
even at home. It's just appalling, isn't it? Next point.
Right, next point. Due to our lack of strikers, which we mentioned over the summer,
which have now reduced a little bit more.
So now, obviously, after Eves did what he did, Wilkinson is a major doubt.
Yep.
So Parker, who couldn't get a start playing well out wide, he's likely to start up front tomorrow where he's struggled.
And then he'll get berated by us fans because he won't play well. And the only other option we've got is Greg Cundall.
Yeah, and that's what I've put. Is we're going to start with Nash and Parker, and Cundall will be our only attacking option off the bench. Where's anything coming from?
We've got no pace, no width yet. Elliot probably still won't get a look in. Just won't get a look in.
No, I don't know where he's gone. Yeah, Tom Eves. What was that about? That's now 3 red cards this season. 3
reds, and they're all straight reds, and they're all for just mindless.
None have been debatable.
It's just idiocy, all of them. The Wilkinson one at the time we said we thought he was trying to block an area, but even then he didn't learn, because on the Tuesday when he came back from his suspension against Southend in the Checker Trade, he made exactly the same challenge and got away with it. Lee Martin, a red card for punching someone, whether he says he didn't or he did.
How did we just watched Pennock's interview, and he said Withery's elbowed or punched him. He's right in front of him.
Yeah, because he's yards from the dugout.
He's in front of the dugout.
But the thing for me that's more concerning, this is the bloke who leads our football club, who sets the example, has effectively condoned injuring someone. He's turned around and said, if you're going to do it properly. don't let him get up and laugh at you. So to me that says...
That's what you say to your mate when he's had a scrap outside the nightclub.
That Pennock's saying, if you're going to smash someone in the face, make sure you smash him hard enough so he don't get back up off the floor. I'm not being funny. Is there something that where the FA might look at his comments? It happens in the Premier League.
It does happen in the Premier League.
Where, like, Jose Mourinho's always getting trouble for things he says, and he got sent off at the weekend as well, but... It's just another idiotic comment from the bloke who's meant to be setting the example. If he's going around saying things like that, no wonder our players think they can go on a pitch on a Saturday or a Tuesday and act how they're acting. We've said for however long we think we need to be stronger and look after ourselves, but we're just going around elbowing people. And he was on a yellow card.
Yeah, there's a difference. Like, you don't just back into somebody and swing an elbow. That's not looking after yourself. That's being an idiot.
Well, yeah, and it comes back to the fact that you're making the referee make it. Why, in your head, at what point does Tom Eaves think in his thought process, I'm on a yellow card, this is a good idea by slapping someone in the face because, oh, the referee's going to come over and see me? It's just mental, it's physical, it's whatever, technical. We're not good enough all over the park in all aspects, not just in terms of football skill. We are just rubbish.
You know, he's come on and he's praised Parker and Nash, who aren't good enough to start, which I've put here. They're usually subs.
They ran around though, he said they ran around.
We're now going in, why run around? I said Dave used to run around, didn't do anything else.
Exactly. Athletes run around, but you
We're
can't
going
set
to
the
Tuesday night with two strikers who aren't his first choice, with a young striker who's unproven on the sub bench, against a good side, and we've now that Wilkinson's out for. I mean, I'm not Wilkinson's biggest fan, but it's numbers.
Or the other thing where we try and play him, even though he's injured, because we haven't got numbers, and then it just makes it worse, and then he'll go missing for a couple of months.
Someone did it with Jackson for years.
Wagstaff, it's a recurring problem, it keeps just being injured.
He's in and out, you know.
Yeah, another one who we got warned about. Have you got more?
Yeah, I've got more.
We'll leave that for a little while.
So the goals, obviously the weekend, we spoke about them just now. Mistake after mistake.
First one's embarrassing.
First one, if Burr makes a challenge, doesn't happen. If Amar doesn't just dangle a loose leg out, it doesn't happen. If Bingham puts a challenge in, it doesn't happen. And then,
you can take the foul on the halfway line.
Yeah, alright, Holy spilled one, but as you said, the defenders are close enough. Why aren't they? First thing should be get it out. Don't look around you, looking puzzled.
Yeah, before people have said, I think some people have said on Twitter that the game maybe Holy is at fault slightly and could have got it safer, but from the angle we've seen on the highlights, he might not have seen it till late. But the thing the biggest thing is Luke O'Neill and Alex Lacey are just so static, they're just not reacting to anything, and then they'll look around, shrug their shoulders, hands on hips like we used to do last season, and everyone is just passing the buck and not taking responsibility. So,
obviously the second goal, Holy as good as he was against Charlton,
it
happens, don't it? Keepers do it.
Yeah.
But again, like I said before, once he concedes one, his head goes, doesn't it?
It does seem to be that he sort of can't let the simple mistakes go, and he sort of thinks about them too much.
If after the first one, I don't know, Nelson before he struggled last season, Nelson would have gone, made a mistake, get on with it. But he thinks about it and it goes on, and maybe that's playing on his mind. When that next one comes in, he thinks, I've got to be strong, I've got to claim this.
Yeah, and it's not like he's got to go through it because he's massive.
Yeah.
He's literally
just stand still and put his hands about.
But in fairness to him, the match report says that he's made a couple of other saves in the second half that's kept it down. He saved a penalty as well, and that's probably his only real mistake this season. And obviously we know the goalkeepers that...
Yeah, they all have the Charlton games and they all have Rochdale games, and
we've said plenty of times when we were berating him, weren't we, pre-season, we didn't want him in the team. But unfortunately if you make mistakes as a goalkeeper, 9 times out of 10 it leads to a goal, whereas if a striker misses a sitter...
I don't even get much chance with the thirds. When I first saw the highlights I thought it was like a tireless running, and then when I watched it back, Bingham's busting the gut and then gives up.
I've just said to you, it looks like Billy Bingham for me this year looks like Ollie Muldoon last year when we got caught from an attacking position and then there was like 3 on 3 or something. And
yeah, very similar. So yeah, we keep saying, I keep saying it to you, when we score a goal, what happens? 11 heads drop on the pitch.
Concede a goal.
The coaching staff's heads drop, the subs heads drop.
I mean concede a goal, sorry.
That's the one.
Yeah. I didn't score a goal, I was thinking I missed
But yeah, since... No, Josh Wright was the one he used to go. You can see the goal, he'd go around, come boys, heads up, don't worry. None of that now.
There's nothing at all.
As soon as anything goes wrong, 11 heads drop on that pitch and they all drop in the dugout, and that's the biggest thing for me.
And we can't see out 10 minutes, can we?
Exactly, you can see the goal, how often we can see another one straight away.
Yeah, there's all this that everyone says, oh, if you can see, be strong for the next 15, stay in the game. We don't, we just absolutely capitulate.
It's coming, by the way.
Oh, good.
What was my next point? Yeah, so it's alright getting up for the Charlton Southend games I said last week.
Exactly what we said.
But there's 21 other teams in this league. You're not going to be playing them every week.
Yep.
You can't just expect to have good games against Charlton Southend and then roll over for the others.
And I'll link that into what Luke Cordell says in his last paragraph of his match report in the Medway Messenger. We are 9 games into the season, too early to write the Gills off completely, but losing so easily against one of the lightweights of the division, won't have given anyone much confidence. That's no disrespect to Rochdale. I like Rochdale. I think they're a good side. I think Keithfield's a really good manager.
Yeah, they're a frustrating team to watch because they're quite stubborn usually.
And I think they've started a lot worse than I'd anticipated. I thought they'd be up there, and I don't think they'll get in the playoffs.
No, I expect them to be sort of top 11 or 12 around that area.
But they're not a Blackburn, a Portsmouth, a Wigan.
Exactly, and we've got those teams coming up.
We've got all of them coming up, and it's absolutely terrifying. So
is it like the goals we're conceding? Is it?
We're no different to what we were last season.
There
it is. There's your Sunday League 12-year-old defender. There's Bingham. Oh, sorry, it's only one, but
O'Neill did try, but still. Yeah, Holy's just had one there. He's got it in his hands almost. Sorry, no doubt in my mind. That's a red. That's against us. We're still, none of the players are arguing it.
No one's gone to him and said, "Oh, we don't think he's right."
Isn't arguing it.
It's even starting to happen into our most reliable centre half, unfortunately, diving in. I mean, you think he's trying to say he got the ball, but from the angle of the referee, it looks like a penalty. Redeemed himself. But the trouble is, only everyone, like we've just said, is only going to remember the one that Sean Clare.
He let the ball bounce, which doesn't make many mistakes, does he? But being managed getting out there, that's already over. But is it fragile mentality? Do you think?
He's bigger.
Is it a lack of quality or ability or belief in themselves to hold on? Because a lot of the goals we concede aren't worldies. They're just they're down to
just black
individual errors, aren't they? It's a lot of the goals we concede.
But then is it a lack of belief in their manager? They can keep coming out however many times they like to say they back the manager, but do they really? We had it with Edinburgh. They're still playing for Edinburgh. They weren't playing for Edinburgh, were they? Let's be honest. So.
Then I think I'm down to 2 points after that. So, as I said, the next 5, realistically, we could play 5, lose 5.
We could get Hydings in 5.
Yeah.
Who's it? So it's Scunthorpe tomorrow, who are, they don't concede many.
5th, I think they won 2 at the weekend.
They'll beat Portsmouth.
Yeah. We then play.
They've got a threat up front. They've got Madden, Josh Morris.
There's another one there.
Because others, Tom Hopper's been scoring, I think.
Or is it the other one?
Tom Hopper.
Another young lad they brought in who scored.
Then it's
Blackburn. That's just a day out for the fans, I think, let's be honest.
That'll be Dominic Samuel, Bradley Dack are both short of scoring that one. I see Dack scored
in good form as well, yeah. Dack scored at the weekend.
And then who did you say it's after?
Portsmouth.
On the box. We don't win on the box.
No, exactly. I've already ruled that one out. And it's, I think it's Peterborough away and Wigan at home. Both. Peterborough flying. You might.
Didn't Peterborough beat Wigan Saturday? I think
2-0,
3-2. I think.
Like that.
It was a bit of a thriller. What is that, by the way? Just going off of what was that? But yeah, it's I think for even the most optimistic of Gills fans.
We beat Wigan at home last time we played them, didn't we? And I think the home games are the only chance we've got.
We had a good side. We had a good side then. We haven't got a good side anymore. The only hope is that we're going to have like a Charlton mentality. That can be the only thing I can see that we're going to get up because they're big games. We're going to get up for it, but. For me, tomorrow night is absolutely worrying because of the fact that we're relying on, like you say, Josh Parker, who's not a striker.
There's nothing against him.
Liam Nash, we cannot rely on Liam Nash to come out and be our hero. He's a kid.
It's not fair and Greg.
And how many times have we said he's jumped 8 levels? So, players need to deliver for Gills was in the paper. That was the match report. Have you got any more on your list?
So yeah, carry on for them 5. If he's still here after the 5, and I don't think he will. I think he'll be gone after the Blackburn game.
Don't say that, please. He can't. I think he's got.
That's
there
same play then 5, and as I expect, we don't win any of them. That's 1 win in 14 this season. Who else in the league would accept that?
Worse than Coventry last season. I mean, they've got an excuse. They had like major issues off the pitch. We haven't got issues anywhere near the same as them. Not on that scale. We are just a car crash.
The last point really was, realistically, what do we all expect to start the season? Lower half?
I said 16th I'd have taken. Now I'll take 20 if I bite your hand off for 20.
Yeah, as the season goes on, and we're going to get more and more adrift. it's alright, like Holy having a worldie against Charlton.
Say best case we pick up 2 draws in them next 5 that you say, we might draw a couple of home games. That means...
It takes one team above us to win a game.
Any other team's just got to win one and they've earned more points than us, yeah.
You know, it's the Charlton game, alright, we won it. Take out Holy saves though, we got battered.
Didn't I see something on Twitter the other day I retweeted that Thomas Holy's made like more than double the saves of any other keeper, and we're conceding like on average about 18 to 20 shots per game on target or something ridiculous. I don't know exactly, but
Charlton, did they have 14 or 16 on target?
And the rest, I think, yeah. It was the same in the Oxford game and Saturday.
As good as, alright, we won that game. If Holy hadn't had that game, we'd have got beat then.
It's a question for you then. Have we really sorted out our defensive problems?
Not at all.
Not even a little bit?
I like where Zach Harley talks a lot, and if Lacey's played in his proper position, who knows?
Well, we've been in games at home, but our last 2 away, we've 2 of the last 3 away, sorry. Was Wimbledon before Oxford?
No, Oxford and then Wimbledon.
So yeah, so take out, so 2 out of the last 3 away games, we've absolutely caved, we lost 3-0.
2 of them 3 away games we've had a player sent off.
Yep.
For stupid stuff.
Yeah, just for absolute mindless idiocy, so...
And then when he does go, and I really do think it's coming, and I think he knows it's coming, listening to his press conferences, he doesn't... The fight seems to have gone from his voice. I think before Charlton, he felt he was pretty safe regardless. And then he won that and he started to think, you know, the rumours started coming out.
If we could pick up a point Saturday and then go and pick up maybe a point or a win tomorrow night, it weren't too bad.
No.
I think in any normal circumstances, a point tomorrow night won't be bad. But
because of the start,
draws are not good to us at the moment, not at all.
And when it does happen, we need to remember there's a bigger world than just Medway. But, you know.
And friends reunited.
Yeah.
So is that how we pick up
other
managers?
people in the world and have been associated with the club.
It's just, it frightens me.
I said to you before, who can you think of as a manager that's done well at club having a play? Eddie Howe's the only one that jumps out for me.
Yeah, I think someone tweeted us, didn't they, when we asked the other week. I think someone said George Graham going back to play for Arsenal and done really well. But yeah, it generally doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. Generally, it's a short-term fix.
We're just
we
fed
know
up
what's
with
going to happen. We know Taylor's coming in, but
we go like that.
Can't be a long.
Don't we? It's just a cycle of the
Taylor's
same repetitive nonsense.
Yeah. We've just we'll sack one, we'll get back in.
So,
but I think that's it from my list. You know, no.
Justin Edinburgh.
Well, now I've had a little rant. Go on, crack on.
Yeah, but you wouldn't put it beyond us. All jokes aside,
No,
you wouldn't put that beyond Scally, would you?
And I tweeted yesterday that if Edinburgh, you know, we all thought it was the wrong choice for Pennant to come in. If Edinburgh had stayed on, it wouldn't have come to the last game.
We wouldn't have got relegated.
We'd have been lower half. We would not have been in that situation.
Yeah.
And we haven't improved in the slightest since January.
We're going backwards and fast.
Yeah.
So,
but like I say, even the ones like getting better.
The ones that we thought were the solid ones at the moment, all of a sudden, Luke O'Neill again.
He was poor against Charlton when he struggled. Yeah. Although that was against Holmes.
Anyway, let's just sum up in here quickly and then we'll do the results round up. Zach Warney, Gilles lacked hunger. I don't need to say any more than that. We were going to take him off. AD Pennant quote regarding Tom Eaves said they were going to take him off at half time. Were they, or is he just saying that just to deflect blame away from yourself so you can go, oh yeah, we were getting him off? But
regardless of that, as he's just said in his interview, you just watched. We were 2-0 down at the time.
Yeah, so it's not Tom Eaves.
It's not
Tom
like
Eaves hasn't lost us the game.
Capitulated after that.
No, it's not like we was in it. No. So match ratings make pretty reading. So in fairness to Thomas Holy, he's dropped one, but he's still got 6. O'Neill 4, Zaquani 5, Nugent 6, Lacey 5, Amar 5, Burns 6, Bingham 5, Clare 6, Eaves 4, Wilkinson 5. Substitutes Parker, Nash both got 6, and that was it. He didn't bring any others on. It does not make pretty reading, Gillingham fans. Anyway, on to other games, so we don't have to depress ourselves further and talk about ourselves. We'll do our look back at the results from Saturday. We're going alphabetical order as normal. Bristol Rovers beat Blackpool 3-1. Didn't see that coming, to be honest.
Really well.
That was Bristol Rovers moves them up into 14th, so the relative tranquility and mid-table, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, that was a bit of a shock, that one. Blackpool conceding 3. They're still in the playoffs, and I think if anyone had been offered 9 games in, they'd have 17 points and be in the top 6. As a Blackpool fan, you just said, thank you very much. Charlton Bury, probably another bit of a surprise again. You'd have expected Charlton to win that, but that to come from behind to draw. Jermaine Beckford still scoring goals at this level. I think that's his 5th of the season. And Josh McGuinness with an equaliser just before half time. Next one for me is a weird result. We said last week Fleetwood got beaten, conceded 3, and I said generally they don't concede many and they normally react pretty well. Southend have been struggling. Fleetwood 2, Southend 4. Not in a million years would you have had that in your acca. So they've conceded 7 in 2 games all of a sudden. Mr Ranger getting up to tricks again, he's just been released from prison and decides to start doing a gunshot celebration, which he's had to explain to the powers that be.
He also Snapchatted his tag coming off.
What a cool dude.
Fantastic.
What a cool dude.
Proud of for all the kids.
Devontae Cole again though. Mentioned him a couple of weeks ago. Still
almost
scoring.
went to Sheffield United, didn't he? Did you see that thing I tagged you on Facebook?
Oh yeah, that Chris Wilder interview was quite interesting. And obviously one of our ex-players, Jermaine McGlashan, got the 4 for Southend. Northampton 0, Bradford 1. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's first defeat at home since taking over, but you'd probably say that's gone before. Bradford are right up there.
Good side, yeah.
And they don't concede many at all. Oxford 1, Walsall 2.
That surprised me.
They're level on points now. Both.
Walsall had a start similar to us.
Yeah, and John Whitney was under huge pressure. Oztumar again, another goal. Absolutely brilliant player at this level. 5-goal thriller next one. Peterborough 3, Wigan 2. That went. I think that swung both ways, didn't it? Jacobs put Wigan in. Oh yeah, I see that on the highlights. Awful. A free kick with massive deflection. Keeper basically was just sat in the middle of the goal line, couldn't get back. But then Peterborough equalised. Peterborough scored in the 84th minute to go 2-1 up. Then Wigan thought they nicked a point. Ryan Coldclough in 87th. But then that man Jack Marriott again. I think that's what, now 8 for the season or something like that. Scored in injury time.
I remember. Didn't we have him on loan? He played 1 game.
Did he score?
No.
I doubt it.
Come on, it was a TV game, Brentford away, I think it was.
But he's doing really well there. Plymouth 0, Doncaster 3. I mean, they're both in a poor run, weren't they? Plymouth, I see something about them and red cards as well. I think that's 4 they've had now. So no wonder they're struggling. I mean, they're below us, so they must be awful. And yeah, Doncaster, I think that stopped to rot. I don't think they won in 6.
No, it's been a while.
So that helps them out. Yeah, John Marquis again. Alfie May, ex-Hive.
Yeah, that's another one.
Another one for him.
For a while,
we've done our game. We'll gloss over it. Rotherham, the no in between side again. Spanked Oldham 5-1. So they've still not drawn a game, have they? Nope. At home they've won 4, drawn 1, and away they've won 1, lost 3. They've scored 18 at home. That's now Southend.
Yeah, that's 5 this week and 5 against Southend. That's 10.
And I think they hit someone for 4 as well. At home they're ridiculous. Away they're all like us. Oldham, I think this will finally be the year they go. John Sheridan said he saw signs of improvement. If you've seen signs of improvement at 5-1 hiding, then you've been pretty awful. You've been pretty poor before that. Scunthorpe, again, we've mentioned them. They're staying in 5th, 18 points, beat Portsmouth 2-0. Portsmouth struggling a bit.
I expect them to be going a bit better.
Yeah, I've got them to finish in the top, in the playoffs, I think. They're right down in 15th at the moment, and their away form's not very good. That's their 3rd defeat on the road.
Now that means you know what's coming up?
Yay! Shrewsbury Blackburn. Still unbeaten. I think there's only 3 sides in England now that are unbeaten. I think it's Shrewsbury and the 2 Manchester clubs in the Premier League. Never ever in a million years saw it coming, but they couldn't claim all 3 points because a certain Mr Dack scored an equaliser for Blackburn. That was his first goal for the club.
Well, about the club that lost him, I'm really missing him.
Yeah, they'll probably struggle this season, you'd imagine. And Friday night, AFC Wimbledon versus MK. I'll refer to it as apparently they might be getting in trouble for this with the FA because they refused to say the Dons, and I think they did last year. Didn't they do something in their programme last year? Didn't they just put? They didn't put, or they just didn't put their name. They just left it blank.
Did they not do the team? I think the team at the back and only have theirs.
There was something they've done, or they refused to put the name on the programme and just had something anyway. But Wimbledon really struggling. I can't see. I thought they'd recruited really well, but they're.
My Wimbledon friend on Twitter is very anti-Hardley at the moment.
And MK Dons, who we spoke about a few weeks ago, you said you had them struggling, and I had them in the top 6. They've just started putting a run together now. They're up to 11th, and they're 4 points outside the playoffs. In terms of performances, there won't be any for us.
Peterborough for me.
Peterborough's a massive win because, I'll agree with you there, because a big side up there, you'd think if they'd lost that, then you'd think, are they really the real deal? And they seem to be showing a bit more consistency than in previous seasons. So yeah, we'll put Peterborough in as a team performance. I suppose you've got to put...
Southend have got to be up there.
Yep, Southend to go to Fleetwood, who had, that was their first home defeat, and they'd only conceded 4 in 7 games at home before then, so to go and score 4 in 90 minutes is a massive effort. And last team performance, you've got to put Rotherham, you scored 5, you've got, I know it's against Oldham, but you've scored 5. Kiefer Moore got 2 more again, so he's doing really, I think he's on loan from Ipswich.
Yeah,
I think we had him, he got a hat-trick in the game against Southend.
Did he come from Forest Green?
Something like that, he's come from really low. So maybe Liam Nash can do the same tomorrow. But in terms of individuals, I think I'm going to put Kiefer Moore in another double for him. He's up, that's at least 5 in the last 2 home games. I've just seen one as well. Moraes, our mate from last season, little fella. 2 really good goals Saturday in that win from quite far out as well.
Yeah,
so
their strike force is Jack Marriott, who's come from Luton, and Moraes, who's came from...
They said it on the Football League.
I want to say Farrett. No, St Albans.
St Albans, something really low key, yeah. So we'll go for team performances. We had Southend, Peterborough and Rotherham, and in terms of individuals, I'm going to go for Kiefer Moore and Ruben, is it Ruben Moraes? Junior Moraes, that's it. So that's our 5. Apologies we couldn't be as cheerful as we were last week. That's unfortunately out of our control. We will be there tomorrow night, smiling, for a match day live against Scunthorpe. And until next time, up the Gills.